It is said that Santiago de Chile occupies the first place among all the countries of the Americas, North, Center and South, in consumption of marijuana, cocaine, base paste, and tranquilizers without a medical prescription. In this video, we will visit this city surrounded by the snowy peaks of the Andes to learn about its culture and understand its current situation regarding the drug issue.
Hi, I'm Isabella Pratt. In case you don't know me, I'm a Venezuelan girl who lives in Santiago de Chile now for 6.5 years, and I want to invite you on an opportunity to walk with me through the streets of Santiago to talk about a very particular topic. How many drugs are consumed or not consumed here in Santiago? What kind of drug is consumed? How legal is it? Is it a taboo subject or not so much? Is it dangerous to talk about this topic in the streets of Santiago? I don't know, so come with me, and let's see how difficult it is to get some information on this with nationals and foreigners who are in this beautiful country. Let's see what awaits us. Friends, this is the Plaza de Armas, or main square of Santiago de Chile. I present to you this prominent point. As I was saying, this is quite a tourist spot. This would be the central part of the city, and sometimes it seems that it is insecure. From time to time, some carabineros are seen. Here, the police are called carabinero. And basically, this is what I want to show you. This area is what I want you to see. What would be the main square of Santiago. In this location, there are many restaurants, but usually inside this jungle, as you are seeing, it looks like a jungle. It looks like a normal square, very ordinary. But here, there is normally a lot of drug sales and a lot of prostitution. This building that you are seeing here, I don't know if you can see, is called the Fernández Cocha Portal. If you realize, we are still in Plaza de Armas, and this building has its stories, and has some pretty gruesome stories, because in this building have happened things that did not happen here in Santiago before. Many of the prostitutes who work here in Plaza de Armas live in this building. Murders have occurred in this building. Murders to the point of dismembering people. They sell drugs here. It's quite a busy building, and there is a constant traffic of people. For the girls who come to the building, they get their clients here in the square, and then they go to the building to do the job. You understand? There have been discovered to be bands of hitmen and white slave gangs here. There is a very heavy level here in a very touristy point of the eastern city. Something as catastrophic as this building can be found. Let's go to the building so they can see the main corridor of the building. Very typical food from Santiago is sold here. But if it seems that nothing happens here, they have remodeled some things. But it looks like a mansion of crime, a crime mansion. This is not normally like this. This is because we are in the day, not work. But during the week, this is a hall, quite crowded, very crowded. This is one of the entrances of the building. If you can see, there are stores. There are many food places in this area. I comment all of this because they could see the entrance of the building. There are always many strange things. Normally, illegal people are always entering, people who have committed a crime. There are gangs of drug traffickers, human trafficking, prostitution, among many other things. This is a point, as I tell you, that is the striking thing about this, is that we are in a very central point of the city. There is a lot. Here you eat. There are typical Chilean food restaurants. The striking thing about everything is this is the center. We continue in this square. We continue in this point of the city. The delicate thing is, we are in a zone. that many people come to visit, and that truth is that it is a red dot. Well, we came to another sector, here in the commune of downtown Santiago, and so we find a quite interesting character. What is your name?
Ignacio.
Ignacio. Ignacio has a very interesting story to tell us, and I'm glad I can share this with you. Because, Ignacio, do you consume cannabis?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you consume any other drugs?
Also, yeah.
Okay. Hard drugs or soft drugs?
Little mushrooms. The strongest, so to speak. The pasties.
Okay, great. You know about selling this. Do you sell some of this?
Yeah. I plant them in my house. I have a small garden. Got 4, 5 pots, which is the legal thing now. I keep a little for myself because I'm still smoking. 1 joint a day, 2 joints a
We
day.
can say that you sell it in a very minimal way.
It's more for friends and acquaintances.
Santiago is a city that receives many immigrants all year. Here, one of the largest communities are the Venezuelans, followed by the Peruvians and the Haitians. At this point, there is a lot of culture, it cannot be denied. There are many arts. Normally during the week, there are always paint spots, people who draw realistic pictures. There is a little bit of everything, always throughout the week. Same in one of those I showed you, or I'll post a video of what this area is like during the week. I hope you can see it in the next take. When you talk about having 5 pots legally, is there something that says that this is legal? Because today we have tried to get some information and something that says this is what is legal. Not even the authority has been able to tell us what is legal and what is not.
The last law that was approved says outdoors we can sell up to 4 pots. And indoors, one can plant 2 meters by 2 meters.
Whatever fits.
Whatever fits.
So planting marijuana in certain amounts is legal here. For example, you mentioned the subject of mushrooms. Is it legal to plant mushrooms?
Mushrooms are illegal.
In every sense? Whether you do it from home?
All the senses.
Okay.
What I understand is that it's illegal.
Okay. Very quite interesting what you're telling me. What group of people do you believe consumes the most? Do you have a specific age or specific sector, or a specific sector consuming something specific?
I think that it's now quite transversal, so to speak. Marijuana, in that sense, is used by people over 45 years to 50. Also, young people or adult. There's lots of different age groups for marijuana.
Is this in a recreational or more medicinal way?
Recreational.
And what do you think, for example, have you had a chance to sell this with your friends, more like you say, more piolita? More piolita is something like relaxed. Do you think that a teenager, because it is known that teens use marijuana, should have access to those types of substances?
I believe from the age of 18, people should be able to buy legally marijuana. If alcohol can be sold.
At age of 18 and onward.
And they drink before.
You mentioned before, have you consumed some base paste? I think I understood pasti. Oh, pills! It's very heavy. But nevertheless, we have received many answers today that tutsi is very consumed a lot lately.
Tusi is the name of the drug that is all the rage in Chile, and whose name phonetically it comes from a synthetic substance called 2CB. It is popularly known as pink cocaine, and the great concern of specialists is that the exact elements that compose it are unknown. The cost per gram is around $12 to $25, and is consumed mainly nasally.
The tusi, I totally don't know, but it's something like cocaine.
It's cocaine mixed with amphetamines.
What do you think about these kinds of harder drugs?
I'm not a supporter of those kind of drugs. I already think they affect you more, stronger to the body.
Well, we are here with Isabella and Camila. I also am Isabella. Girls, what part of the world are you from? Colombia. What is your job here in Plaza de Armas? Well, we work offering sexual companionship. How much do you earn on a service with you during the day? A good day, for example. I don't know, 300,000 pesos? This is much more than a common salary. As sex workers, do you use any kind of drugs? Nothing, okay. Are you in favor or against the use? No, we respect everyone's decision. Do your clients use drugs or not, or are they people who don't typically use? Some do, but not in our presence. No. Thank you for giving us your opinion. Do you think drug use does or does not cause harm? Any kind of drug, hard or marijuana, etc. If they take excess, I feel that yes. What do you think about drugs in your home country? Is it a problem or a benefit? No, in fact, it is more hidden. You don't just come down the street drinking or anything. I mean, you see it and people avoid talking about it. Over there, everything is much more hidden. Like more taboo. We are in Las Darias Street. It's quite a tourist spot. Bohemian with a lot of culture. Above all, the culture of consuming cannabis consumption here in Santiago, apart from being a very important space for the LGBT community, knowing that in Santiago de Chile, homosexuality is legalized, and then everything that entails the marriage of same gender. Here I am with Rolando. I see you sell many accessories for cannabis consumption.
Yeah, that's right.
Tell us a little. How is this issue of legality here in Santiago or in Chile with respect to cannabis consumption?
To consume cannabis, it's in a legal vacuum. Is it illegal? Is it legal? Depending on the criteria of the policeman who captures you. They're creating a law that approves up to 5 grams, if I'm not mistaken, for personal consumption.
At some point, and I tell you very honestly, I did smoke and I was nervous. I mean, I was terrified to think that they could arrest me. Exactly.
Yes, they can arrest you, but not usually for a joint. They don't take you. They throw it away. Things like that.
What do you think is the most consumed here, cannabis or other hard drugs?
At this moment, Chile's in a debate, actually, because cannabis has always been consumed, high doses, since before the dictatorship. Generations have debated, is it considered a drug or not? But nowadays, the Tusi is also on the rise, which is cocaine. The new singers encourage it.
Okay, and do you think this is specifically in areas of the city? For instance, you see X being consumed at the city center, or on the east side you see more of Y being consumed. How do you see it?
I believe cannabis is everywhere in the community, socially.
Okay.
It can vary. Socially, it's the quality of the cannabis. A more full joint. The Paraguayan, they say, whatever it is, I don't know, harvest more indoors, more natural. Those are the variations that there may be.
You, as a person who sells accessories, is it possible for cannabis to be sold on the street, or is it not legal or...
In Chile, cannabis is not legal to sell.
Okay.
The only variety that is legal is hemp, or the seeds.
Okay, hemp is like the plant, the stem.
Because already inhaling something through the nose is super violent, super aggressive. You mistreat
You
the body.
mistreat your body.
This effect as a chemical does more damage.
Exactly that. It's good you mention it. Do you think that the fact of consuming this type of more natural drug, such as mushrooms and marijuana, I think it also exists, please do confirm, peyote, ayahuasca, I don't know if this is as common.
Yeah, it exists,
It's
but
not
not so
as well
much.
known.
To the north, in Maipo Cajon.
Do you think this type of drug affects, or do you feel this is some change in you with respect to consuming or not consuming?
Yeah, marijuana is still worldwide.
Okay.
Different types of bushes too. There are some that hit you harder. Others come pressed.
Pressed like.
Ones they smuggle in come from trafficking.
Okay.
So in that sense, self-cultivation, you have the option of knowing what you're smoking.
Okay.
You know how you grow it, what you're consuming, and why you want to. Some are more narcotic. Since it's a medicine, many people can self-medicate.
Is there a lot of smuggled marijuana here? Or is it more cultural for people to cultivate it?
We're there. Just growing a little bit of the crop with my circle of friends. They're already cultivating. You get into the realm of, you know, planting your own little plant. Grow your own plant and smoke what you want.
This neighborhood is very popular and quite quaint. I would like to talk with this friend here. Hi, how are you? Look, I'm sorry to bother you on your way home, but it happens to be that we are trying to do a series of interviews regarding the position that you would have with drug themes. I don't know if you could give us your opinion. Is that possible?
Yeah.
Do you consume any type of drug?
No. I've never bought. I don't consume. I don't like. I've tried it, but it doesn't work for me. It doesn't make me feel good.
Are you against it?
I'm not against it. I really don't care too much if they smoke or not. It's up to each one of us.
Do you know people who smoke?
Yeah, almost all do. Almost everyone consumes, let's say.
Okay.
In general, I don't like it. I don't feel stable.
Okay, so marijuana doesn't cause addiction.
Not for me. Feel maybe anxiety, it could be that. But what I told you before, if you self-medicate, you don't know what you're smoking. It has an adverse effect on you. But if you smoke your marijuana, it does feel good, makes you feel more relaxed and good to talk.
Could we say that the drug that enters the country illegally is entering through ships more so than by land?
I don't know. But the port of San Antonio in Valparaiso doesn't have a scanner. The scanners that scan the containers are damaged. Weird. Damaged a long time ago. And that they're just going to return to fix it in a while.
Christian, thank you so much for your time and your comment. It has been a very good contribution. We are going to continue on. Thank you so much. Because we saw that countries like New Zealand and Canada are approving the use of hallucinogenic mushrooms in therapy for depression, anxiety, and such. Do you think it should be maintained at this level of medicine, or should it be used more recreationally?
I think that the medicine of both cannabis and mushrooms comes from ancient civilization. There are records of both the Vikings and the Mayans, two different continents. Nowadays, I believe people have the right to choose if they want to take drugs, recreationally or medicinally. The states and governments of each country should allow them to take their medicine, and it shouldn't be illegal. That's the most important thing. As for mushrooms, I think it's a good medicine. I've looked into it, and from what I understand, there's a chemical in it that helps our body, so it becomes a medicine. Consume with confidence, and I hope you sow and grow your own plant. Research this wonderful topic, the world of marijuana and cannabis. Cultivate it and learn. Take care of your little plant. If you've got the option to, you can have your own plant and smoke what you want.
I wanted to come and tell you my story now. I was motivated to test cannabis because I saw it as quite normal. Truly, here you are walking down the street and you can be walking behind someone smoking cannabis, and you behave almost the same, and he does it in the most normal way. We are currently in another area of Santiago, a little more wealthy area of Santiago, and in the east, so to speak, a place called Alto Las Condes, and in these areas it is also consumed. It is not a matter of social stratum or social class. I remember that I had about 6 months without consuming, and I did it again with 1 gram, I'd say. We didn't smoke it like a cigarette, but we did it through a vape because we read that it was less harmful that way, since you're not burning the plant, but you are sucking in the steam. Well, many people who consume cannabis told us that is not really smoking, but that was our way. We liked it, and as I told you, after 6 months, we did it again. Because we were really engaged in the process of starting, and at that moment we decided to do it, and after this time we had not done it, and we decided to do it again, for fun. For recreation, we'll say. That was totally a recreational consumption. And I realized that I did not pass. We were having a very bad time, and I had a very strong anxiety. I had never felt such discomfort and heaviness in the chest than in that moment, and I decided not to do it again. Later, talking with my partner, Ross, she told me the same thing happened to her too, and that she was not feeling comfortable at all. And at that moment, we decided to leave cannabis. I am a person who can say that at some point it helped me a lot, but then it was a nightmare, and I said no. I did not, at any time, have symptoms of addiction, nor did I suffer withdrawal symptoms. I have not approved any chemical drugs apart from cannabis. Last year, I ate mushrooms, hallucinogenic mushrooms, and it wasn't as much about recreational process. It was really about a spiritual theme. I don't recommend it at all for recreational use. However, I know people do use it in that way. In my case, it was not like that. In my case, it was in a controlled environment, to put it that way. I must have about 4 to 5 months since I've consumed any kind of substance. Naturally, since I don't take any chemical drug, and I feel good. Truly, you could say that one consumes chemical drugs, such as alcohol, and I even left alcohol. Don't do it for fashion. Don't you dare consume something that could be harmful if you don't know how to use it. Don't do it for fashion. Don't be peer pressured. In case you want to, I'm neither against nor for it regarding the theme of marijuana. I'm not against or for it. I know that, like any drug, for as natural as it may be, it is consuming your resources, so to say. It is consuming neurons of your brain, just like alcohol, just like sugar. Therefore, it should not be totally good. But unlike other drugs, it doesn't cause you addiction. There are people I know who use it medicinally, and it has helped them gravely. But in my case, my recommendation is to research, read a lot. There's some really positive things about marijuana and even mushrooms, because in countries like New Zealand and Canada, they are approving the psilocybin, that is the psychoactive substance of hallucinogenic mushrooms, in therapy for depression. So if it has been seen in scientific results by countries that are approving these substances and chemicals coming from these plants, it must be for a reason. But don't do it. Don't self-medicate. Above all, don't self-medicate. Do your research and go to people who are apt to help you through therapy for heavier issues. So that's my recommendation. And with that, pasa la chévere. Have a good day.
And you, what is your opinion? Or tell us, how is this situation in your city? We hope to see you in the next episode. Remember to leave your comment below, give us a like, and subscribe by activating all notifications. See you soon.